Well, hi everyone, here we are again with our HR training course. So, in this video, I'll tell you about diversity and inclusion in hiring. So, this is also the last topic of our recruitment and selection part. So, let's get started on today's video, diversity and inclusion in hiring. So, what is diversity? Diversity means what's the difference between one thing to another thing. So, diversity and inclusion in hiring involves creating a recruitment process that actively seeks to attract, select, and retain a workforce that represents a wide range of backgrounds, experience, and perspectives. So, in recruitment process, you have to take more and more interviews, and you have more candidates with different backgrounds, different experience. So, this is called diversity. In India, there are more diverse culture. If we talk about Tamil Nadu state, there are different culture. If we talk about UP, there are different culture. So if they are coming with different culture, then definitely there would be a diversity. So it is important to manage their diversity and do their inclusion. Now there are some key steps for diversity and inclusion in hiring, and also in this point we will know how can we manage the diversity in our organization and in our hiring process. Inclusive job descriptions. Use gender neutral language and avoid biased terms to attract a diverse pool of candidates. So you should use gender neutral language so that you can avoid biased terms to attract a diverse pool of candidates. You shouldn't be biased for any candidate. Let's move to our next step, which is broad sourcing strategies. Advertise job openings on platforms that reach underrepresented groups and tap into diverse talent networks. If you want to do broad sourcing, then you have to go for platforms that they have underrepresented groups and in which you will get diverse talent networks. So let's move to our next step, which is bias free screening. Implement blind resume reviews to reduce unconscious bias in the initial candidate screening process. So you should implement blind resume screening so that there shouldn't be any biasness. So you can do resume screening by computer also, because in computer there is no biasness. So let's move to our next step, which is diverse interview panels. Include a mix of interviewers from different background to ensure varied perspective in the evaluation process. So you can take interview by different interviews that they have their different backgrounds. It will be helpful to manage the diversity in hiring process. So let's move to our next step, which is structured interviews. Use standardized interview questions and scoring to reduce bias and focus on skills and experience. So you can use standardized interview questions, and you have to make scoring system, and there shouldn't be any biasness, and you should always focus on their skills and experience. So let's move to our next point, which is training and awareness. Provide training on unconscious bias and inclusive hiring practices for everyone involved in the recruitment process. So if you are doing recruitment process, then you would have more employees, and you have to provide them a training on unconscious bias so that they can learn how to manage diversity in hiring process. So let's move to our next step, which is set D&I goals. Establish clear diversity and inclusion goals and metrics to track progress in hiring. So you should establish diversity and inclusion goals so that you can track your progress in hiring. Let's move to our next step, which is promote an inclusive culture. Ensure that the workplace culture is welcoming and supportive of all employees, regardless of their background. So you have to create a work culture in which all the employees have supportive nature. They should support the new hire so that new hire don't feel any loneliness. By integrating these practices, organizations can build a more diverse and inclusive workforce, which can lead to greater innovation, employee satisfaction, and overall business success. So if you are integrating these practices, organization can build more diverse and inclusive workforce. That will be helpful if you wanna grow, and you will able to achieve success if you are able to integrate these practices. So these key steps are really important if you are trying to manage diversity and inclusion in hiring. So you should remember these things. So still, if you have any queries and doubts, you can reach out to our phone number. Also, you can check our website, and you can also go for our email ID. So for now, thank you for listening.